I'll be your host tonight, and with me is everyone's favorite fitness icon, Shaun Deeb. Queen 10 of spades here for Jason Koon. We are going to be seeing a raise.
Yeah, I think we're seeing Jason, knowing that he's one of the most experienced people at this final table, and he's going to definitely apply pressure with his chip stack.
Ace 10 suited here. What do you think we're going to see?
I think we're going to see a call. I think, he's one of the more amateurish players at this final table. The majority of his opponents are full-time poker players. Their sole income is poker.
I really don't mind seeing a flat here from Ace 10 suited if you're at a table without a lot of re-raising, because it's a hand that plays well post-flop. You're going to get some flops with clubs, obviously an ace or a 10, some Broadway draws, and gives you, some playability to not just have a lot of like the middle pocket pair type hands that you might want to flat behind.
So we see flows here flop a set, and no one else really flop anything.
I think we're going to see a continuation bet from Jason Koon. He's got some reasonable removal, some backdoor equity. King high flop is usually a little bit more favorable for the pre-flop raiser. They have a few more kings, like ace king, that the players behind just aren't going to have because they're going to be three-betting them. However, sets are in play, and we see bottom set here with the call. Now, some players might want to go for a raise in the flop, but one of the things I like about calling is if your opponent was bluffing, you keep him in the pot. However, the jack of spades peels off on the turn, which if you're Jason Koon, you got to be pretty happy now.
Yeah, I mean, that is the sole best card in the deck, and he still only has 30% versus Joe's set.
But oh, when it gets there. So we see a barrel now, and I think we're going to see Joe continue to call here.
Yeah, they're going to have close to a pot-sized bet. There's going to be about 2.5 million back. And, Joe with position can make some really good decisions. And he's hoping that Jason, doesn't have as much equity as he does. But we'll see what happens on this river card.
I believe that's a flush, Deeb. So now in Jason's shoes, the question is to bet or to trap. And I think we're going to see him continue to tell his story with a third barrel.
All in. He goes for the whole lot.
Now, this is not what Serock wanted to see here.
Looks like over here at the 2650, we have an all-in and call.
Sounds like something's going on over at the 2650 table. What's happening, Chris?
Yeah, that's right, guys. We got some action. Hopefully we'll get back to Joe Serock before his decision is made. We're over here at the 2650 table, and James Gilbert is all in with 9s versus Daniel Highmiller with 10s. Jerry Wong has already been eliminated in 9th place. 8th place pays just over $30,000. No 9 for Gilbert.
Turn
pairs the board. And it's no 9 on the river, and so James Gilbert is gone. He wins $30,800. That means we're down to 7 players in the 2650 event. Also at the other tables, we have 7 players left at the high roller, 5 players are left at the $1,100, and 9 players are still remaining in the championship. So that's what's going on over here. Now let's get back to you, Shaun and Doug, and Joe Serock with a tough decision here against Jason Koon.
All right, thanks, Chris.
It's good for the game.
Joe decides to fold.
I don't want to know.
Big laydown.
When you flop a set on King 5-3 Rainbow, you're not thinking about folding too often. But Joe played it absolutely perfect.
He really did, man.
The blinds are up right now. We're up to 40 and 80,000 with a 10K ante still. So Joe Serock here with 2 9s under the gun. We're going to see an open from him.
Certainly the standard play. Looking to get a little action here with your pocket 9s, but you're hoping to not run into any higher pairs.
And Tim wakes up with 2 queens next act and 3 bets to 350,000.
Not ideal here for Serock. Also, the min-raise pre-flop, definitely a play that you want to have in your arsenal, particularly against big blinds that you think might not be the strongest players. Back over to Serock with 9s. I think we're going to see a call, and we're probably going to be taking a flop.
And Joe's got about 2 million back after he calls the additional 190,000. He's not loving his spot, but, getting that price, he could have the best hand sometimes, and he's going to, see what happens after he flops 3.
And when you have 9s here, there are really 2 kinds of flops. Those with a 9 and those without.
That is one with.
Now, in Bert's shoes here, it's a relatively safe flop. His opponent could have a hand like maybe ace-queen, a very conservative ace-king. He's only really going to be behind if his opponent has a hand like nines or maybe jacks. Now the question is, should he call or should he raise? What do you think, Shaun?
I like calling here. I think that there's very few hands that have a lot of equity. Anyone that does is going to jam the turn. If he has ace-king, ace-queen of hearts, or king-queen of hearts, you're just not going to get those hands to fold.
One of the advantages to jamming is by doing this, it gives you a chance to also look to go all in when you have hands like, you know, ace-queen of hearts or queen-10 of hearts, some semi-bluffs. If you only have those draws when you go all in, your opponent can call you with some light holdings knowing that you're on a draw. By working in some sets, all of a sudden it becomes a lot worse to call here with a hand like queens.
Are you surprised Tim's taking this long before calling?
Well, having the queen of hearts is not very good here because that was quite the laydown. But having the queen of hearts here isn't a very good card. You want him to have a hand with the queen of hearts in it. So maybe he just thinks that having that card is too bad. Or maybe he just thinks that, you know, Serock isn't really willing to bluff in this spot. An ace-jack suited here for Koon on the button.
A very standard open with this stack size at this stage.
All in from Joe Serock with ace-deuce suited. Big blind gets out of the way, and Koon makes the call with ace-jack. Serock is at risk of finishing in 6th place here.
Championship table, Jason Koon open on the button with ace-jack of clubs. Flows, a.k.a. Joe Serock, with ace-deuce of hearts jammed. And
How they're exchanging clothes right now. That's usually a bad sign that Jason's very convinced that Flows is going to be leaving soon, so he's going to need that to keep himself warm.
I think Koon could look good in anything he wants to wear.
We'd prefer him not to wear anything. Let's be
Funny
honest.
flipping that flush draw.
Your words.
Yeah.
Your words. Flop comes Jack 7-4, 2 hearts. Serock has a flush draw now. However, his deuce won't be good because Koon has a jack.
It's a 10, and now it's 9 outs once. Here comes the river. It's a king.
Brick City and Koon stack Serock. Serock finishes in 6th place. Good for $150,000.
Nice work, Flows. Nice work, buddy.
Sorry, dude.
Well, that was fun. What do you say we watch another one? Get comfy. It's called a click hole. Don't worry, no one's going to tell your boss.